What's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Let's Build with Audie. And we are standing here today in front of this absolutely stunning water feature that I've created. Okay, now that we're finished with the most schizophrenic intro yet recorded on this series, we are going to continue today. What I've got for you is a bit of city planning. We're going to do some layout. I have noticed thus far, we've mainly just been, and I say we, I'm not trying to blame this on anyone. Honestly, it was the architect's fault. We've basically just been haphazardly plopping buildings into this big wall outline. So today we're going to lay out some of the a little better layout of sort of how we want. Oops, I chucked my grass. I did not mean to do that. Anyway, ADD. We're going to be laying out the city. So we have a plan, really more of where we want some of the buildings and etc. To be. So here you go. This is sort of the big picture. This is a big overview we have here, and I basically just wanted to go ahead and try to lay out where we're going to stick in the rest of these buildings. Just get a general idea. As you'll see, I don't really stick to the game plan that well, but I wanted to at least have sort of an idea of where we're going with this, rather than just putting buildings in. I'd like to have an idea of, how much space we're going to need for all these things, so I can plan to make things as big as I want them, rather than shrinking them because we don't have enough room. So obviously here, the easiest space to sort of identify, first of all, excuse me, is the docks area, which is obviously got to be over here on the left side, because that's where all the water is, the ocean and everything. And then another thing I notice about our city is that it's very flat and not really natural looking. I want to have some natural water moving through it. So I'm planning to sort of do a little bit of terraforming, put sort of a river through the middle of it. That way there's some fresh water access. And then there's just some other locations here that I outline that I believe will be a good utilization of space for that type of building. And then you'll see over here on the right hand side, I went ahead and decided I wanted to knock down a few walls and extend those out. Those plans would end up changing just because of how the geography worked out. But I still would like to sort of expand that space over there so that we can use it possibly for like some villas or like some farmers' homes or things like that. And then this long rectangle you see coming in from the right is going to eventually be an aqueduct coming in, and that's the direction it's going to come in from. And then at its base, you see there will be some kind of water distribution building that's going to be necessary. So this is kind of the basic outline, and then obviously at the end we're going to have to stick the Colosseum in. I would like it to have as much space as it can have, or as it possibly could need. So I just kind of designated that northern desert area just to go nuts with and make the massive Colosseum. So that's basically what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and start doing a little bit of terraforming, kind of get some of these areas prepped and putting that river in, and we'll see where it goes from there. So one of the first things you're going to notice here about this area that I kind of had delineated for this large river that I was going to put in is this big drop off the right side where that big like pond is, and that made it pretty difficult. I started to realize pretty quickly that these additional walls were not going to happen. So I think what I'm going to end up using this area for is just kind of a agricultural kind of outside the city, maybe like suburban area for some farmers and stuff. Just put some regular fences around there. But yeah, it's very hilly and difficult to work with, so I just decided to kind of make a bunch of river structures over here. Can a river be a structure? I don't know if it's not really a structure. But anyway, I decided to kind of incorporate these other little waterfall fountain things into this river, and you'll see I'm going to make this point up here in the wall where it's going to end up feeding into the city, and we'll put like a little sewer grate in there so the water can go through, but people still can't just like walk under the walls, otherwise the walls would become useless. here we go. I finally kind of got these spaces leveled off, and how I felt like they were going to be good enough to throw in some houses and things. So then I was going to move on to actually building this river system that runs through the city itself. So I went ahead and started here on this side of the wall where the river connects and comes into the city, and I just kind of wound my way around the town hall there, just kind of loosely following the outline that I had made previously at the beginning of this episode. And then you'll see later on it kind of looked dirty, I guess. I'm not really sure how to describe it. So once I filled it with water, I decided to go back in and line the whole thing with cobblestone. I didn't want it to look too advanced, you know, like a river walk, or like, I don't know, like some kind of modern canal system, but I wanted it to look at least like the Romans had kind of attempted to channelize the river just so they could use it more efficiently without it spilling or flooding everywhere. So that was kind of the point of that. So as I was finishing up the stone here, and I was thinking about connecting this river to the other side of our wall and sending it on through into the ocean, I was looking at this wall, and we actually have quite a bit of space on the other side of it, so I decided to go ahead and, as you'll see here, just push that wall back almost all the way to where the water is. And that should give us a lot more space for like the big library slash academy I want to toss in here. So as you see, it's a lot bigger space, so I think that'll be good to work with. That's all I have today for you. I know I didn't really build anything, but a lot of times you have to put in this kind of behind the scenes work to kind of set up the area for yourself. So hopefully next time I'll be able to actually put some building in, so stay tuned.